Hi, this is Les and Amy from the RevGenetics podcast. You can listen to the podcast on YouTube and now on Spotify, where we do a deep dive on supplements and longevity studies. Today, we are exploring a really fascinating study about what happens when we try to clean out old, tired cells from the body to help older immune systems fight off the flu.
Yeah, it is actually super counterintuitive. I mean, you would naturally think that scrubbing the body clean of all the old stuff would, automatically make you healthier.
Right, like taking out the garbage. But let us back up a bit before we get into the crazy results. As we get older, our immune system just naturally gets a bit sluggish, right?
Exactly. It slows down a lot. Even vaccines just do not work as well when we are older. And scientists figured out that a huge reason for this sluggishness is, well, a buildup of what they call zombie cells.
Zombie cells. Okay, I have actually heard that term thrown around a bit. What exactly makes them, zombies, though?
Well, they are basically just damaged cells that have stopped working. But they totally refuse to leave the body. They just stubbornly stick around.
So they just sit there taking up space.
Yeah, but it is worse than that. They just sit there and cause a lot of this grumpy background inflammation. They're basically complaining all the time and distracting the immune system.
Oh, I see. So the immune system is wasting energy on these grumpy cells instead of, preparing for real threats.
Exactly. It gets totally distracted. So in this experiment, scientists wanted to see if clearing out these zombie cells would actually fix the problem. They used a special two-part compound mixture, dasatinib and quercetin, on older mice.
And they gave them this mixture right before giving them a flu shot, right? Just to see if it would make the vaccine work better?
Yep, that was the whole idea. Just clear out the junk and see if the vaccine becomes more effective.
I actually love thinking about this using a really simple football analogy. Think of your immune system like a football team.
Okay, I'm with you.
And these zombie cells are like exhausted players who are just wandering around the field, blowing whistles and causing total chaos.
That is a great way to picture it, yeah.
So the scientists basically hoped that by using this compound to clear the field of those annoying zombie cells, the real team would have a totally clear path to, score way more points. Like they would just fight the virus so much better.
Right. I mean, you would assume a clear field means a massive blowout victory. But here's the huge twist in the findings. Clearing out those zombie cells did not make the vaccine a super shield at all.
Wait, really? It did not help them fight it off better?
Not in the way they thought. The older mice still got sick at the exact same rate.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the amount of virus in their system was totally identical. On the surface, it looked like the treatment just failed. But when the researchers looked closer, they realized the immune system completely changed how it fought the virus.
Oh, okay. So it is like the football team did not score more points, but they completely changed their playbook.
Exactly.
Like they realized the annoying whistles were gone, so they switched from a running game to a passing game.
Yes, that is exactly what happened. They changed their primary target on the virus entirely. Without all that background noise, they ignored their usual target and went after a totally different part of the virus.
That is amazing. So they just completely re-strategized.
Yep. And they also produced a much broader variety of defenses later on in the infection. Just by removing those noisy cells, the body entirely rewired its battle plan.
Since we are talking about these compounds and how they change our internal environment, I should mention that RevGenetics powers these conversations on human health and longevity.
Yeah, and it is super relevant today because they have a long-term focus on evidence-based natural compounds for aging research. And quercetin, which is one of the exact compounds used to clear the zombie cells in today's study, is actually a key supplement they offer.
Right. Understanding how these natural plant compounds interact with our cellular health over time is exactly why we explore this fascinating research together.
It really is. But, okay, we need to talk about the other half of this experiment because things get even crazier.
Right, because we just spent all this time talking about the mice that got the vaccine. What happened to the older mice that did not get the vaccine beforehand?
Okay, so for the older mice that did not get the flu shot, clearing out those zombie cells actually made it significantly harder for them to clear the virus.
Wait, what? It made it harder.
Yeah, and it gets wilder. When they tried this exact same clearing process on young mice who barely have any zombie cells to begin with, those young mice ended up with way more lung damage.
Wait, hold on. So we shouldn't just sweep away all these zombie cells? I am so confused now. I thought they were the bad guys, like those annoying players on the field.
I know, it totally flips the script. But this is why it is such a massive discovery for the future of medicine. It turns out zombie cells aren't just useless garbage.
They actually do something good.
Yes, they do. They actually play a really crucial role in healing and repairing physical tissue. You can almost think of them like scabs on a scrape. Yeah, so they are ugly, and they cause some tightness and inflammation, but they protect the delicate tissue underneath while it heals. Zombie cells act as a repair crew for the lungs.
Wow, that makes so much sense. So if you don't have the vaccine training the immune system, the virus just does a ton of raw damage. And if you wipe out the zombie cells, you are basically firing your repair crew right before the damage happens.
Exactly.
You are literally picking the scab off right before you fall and scrape your knee a second time.
That is exactly it. If you clear them out at the exact wrong time, like right before an infection without a vaccine, you strip away the body's emergency scaffolding.
That is so fascinating. And it makes you realize how incredibly careful we have to be with all this. So what does this actually mean for us in the future? Like for anyone listening who wants to stay healthy?
Well, it means the future of longevity and immune health isn't about blindly taking a magic pill to just aggressively boost the immune system.
Right. No more sledgehammer approach.
Exactly. We can't just universally wipe out every single old cell. The future is entirely about precision. Down the road, we might use these exact compounds to expertly retune or reshape how our immune system strategizes.
So it is about making sure we get the right dose at the exact right time.
Yes. Coordinating it perfectly, maybe alongside vaccines, so we prepare the body without accidentally firing our repair crew when we need them the most.
It is honestly just incredible to think about. It really shows how amazing the body is and just how much there is still to learn about aging and immunity.
It really does. I mean, every new study just shows us how beautifully complex our biology truly is.
We hope you found our discussion of the published study insightful.
Thank you for listening to the RevGenetics podcast.
RevGenetics.com for the best longevity supplements on Earth.